Good morning and welcome to another great edition of Money Truth Moments with our Money Truth expert, Judy Gopenbarger. How are you?
Hi, Carlos. I am awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I always love our Tuesday show and I'm really excited about today for sure. So, we're going to be talking today, folks, about tax season stress, why it happens, and how to stay prepared. So, what do you say we get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go.
So, what I like to find out is why does tax season cause so much anxiety for people every year?
Oh, well, because we don't know. We don't know. Are we going to pay? Are they going to pay us? How much is it in? Or how much are we in for? And where am I going to get the money if there's tax due? It's just like the unknown. Because a lot of people don't know how to kind of prepare ahead and know what the numbers mean. A lot of people think when you withhold from your paychecks, this is interesting to me, but I guess how would you know, right? If nobody ever told you this. But when you withhold, it's just an estimate. It's an estimated tax guess of how much your tax might be owed. So people are like, but I already paid my tax. But it wasn't the actual tax bill. We don't know till the end of the year what the actual tax bill is. And the rules change every year. A lot of big rule changes this year, right? So when you send money in or when your payroll department sends money in for you, it's just an estimate. And you can dial up or dial down with how much goes in for that estimated tax payment. But a lot of people think they're actually paying the tax when they do that. They're not. They're just sending it ahead so you don't have that big fat bill in the springtime.
And that's the scary part. Surprise, right? For
It
sure.
is. It is. It's very nerve-wracking for a lot of people because you don't know, right? So one solution would be maybe to over withhold, maybe take a little more than you think you might need, work with your accountant to get that number. That might be one way to do it, but other than that, you just have to kind of hope that you're estimating very close to what it's going to be.
So, why do many people wait until the last minute to deal with the taxes?
Oh, because it's stressful, avoidance behavior. Don't we do that? Humans, humans do that. Animals, they just
Yep.
kind of charge in and do what they need to do. Humans are like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that person or that tax return or that issue. Let's just make it la la la, make it go away. That's what humans do. Unless we're intentional, that's kind of the default for a lot of people.
What are some things you have seen over the years with your clients just waiting for that last minute?
Like what it causes or how they do that.
Yeah, the stress level.
Oh, well, it just rises. Yeah, the longer it's like anything. If you one year we have little themes at our house, and one year I remember when the kids were little, when we had, we were in it with all of them in school and sports and church stuff and all that. Um, and I remember our theme was do it right now. And I think all of us really benefited from that. It's like, well, I could take those clothes up and fold them and, put them in my drawer now, or I could do it later, but it's kind of like spinning, it's like I still have to do that. I still have to, it's like hanging over your head. And for me, it takes up mental space. It's like I could be creating something or solving something or having fun or enjoying myself, but I can't relax because I know there's that thing I have to do. And I think it might be like that for some people when it comes to tax returns, getting the records together. It's not fun for a lot of people. Some people like the details. It's not me. I don't really enjoy that part. I need this. I'm helping our kids right now are in escrow buying a house. So we're helping get together all of their documents and what the bank needs and the lender for the mortgage and all that. It's a lot of detail. And then you send something and they email back and say, well, it's not in the right format. Do it this way. We need a header on it. Whatever it is. There's all this detail in that. Well, that's not fun for a lot of people. Like I'm a big thought person, not a detail person. So that's stressful. And then if you think on the other end of it, I might have a bill and I'd rather, I don't know if it's going to be $500 or $5,000 or $50,000. That can be really stressful. So let's just not do it yet. Right. So I think that's what shows up in some people's lives is that stress goes up, the anxiety goes up, the mental space goes down, creativity goes down. And anytime that's happening, it's going to impact everything. Happiness in life, relationships, impact on the community. It's going to impact every area, probably even wellness and fitness eventually, the stress cortisol levels, right? So it's worth dealing with and it's worth doing now. If you have the data you need, do it now, not later.
Folks, if you're just joining us, welcome. Please make sure you are following Judy at judykopenbarger.today, where you can find more information on all the great topics we are talking about. Um, so let's deep dive a little bit into what are some simple habits that can make tax season much easier for families and
Mm,
small business owners.
great question. People ask me this all the time. Good record keeping. And it's just like any new habit, it's like, oh, another thing I have to do. But it makes life so much easier if you have good record keeping habits. So if you have a place to keep your receipts, either a tangible, shoebox, the old shoebox, now it's all digital. So just set up a little place. I did this last year. It was amazing. All the tax stuff. I put the data in there, the research in there, all the stuff that they're going to be asking. And we're just now finishing corporate. So we're getting ready for the personal in the next week or two. But I already have all the folders set up where I put the information, when it goes to the accountant, I have a couple of payroll people and then the accountants, and then it goes to the tax preparer, the CPA. And so I have everything all set up, including, I was so proud of myself, including where the documents go when they're actually finished, the final returns and the final correspondence from the CPA. The folder's already there. So when I went in the portal and I downloaded everything, I just went boop right into the folder and it's under 2025 and it's all buttoned up and I know right where it is for the rest of my life. I'm so happy. So that's record keeping. For me, that brings a little peace of mind. It might be having some kind of setup. If you have a lot of expenses and receipts with your business or even your personal, charitable or whatever, have a folder where all those go. Scan them, put them in, and then when it's tax time, all you have to do is access that. If it's password protected, make sure you know what the password is, right? But I think just record keeping as you go. Years ago, I have a business where I do a lot of travel and a lot of, conferences and training and things like that. So, and I had several audits in a row years ago. They gave me a lot of money back, so I don't really mind audits. Once we went in the detail, it's like it was always in my favor, and we did well. But what I learned from that is they're going to ask, why did you go? Where did you go? Did you have a meal at the airport? What were you doing there? What was the conference fee? What was the airline? What was the Uber? All of that. And so I would just automatically, when I travel, have a little travel folder for that conference or that event. Maybe it's like a whole week of expenses, in a variety of categories, put them all in one place. Then when they say, what were you doing there? Why were you spending that money? Was it really a vacation? Not really. Here's me, picture with my name tag. Here's a picture of the agenda. Here's all the expenses I had related to that. Any other questions, Mr. Auditor? And I've just done that as a habit now for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And that really makes a big difference. And even if you don't have a lot of expenses, the personal ones that are going to happen every year, maybe every year you give charitably in-kind gifts. Like you go to the Salvation Army and you drop off those coats. You go to the Red Cross and you drop off those cans, for food, whatever it is. Track all of that, put it all in one place. And when it's time to access the information, you just go click, there it is, ready for tax returns.
A lot of great stuff for sure. What's one habit today that people can start that would make the next tax season that much easier, in your
Yeah.
opinion?
Yeah, I think, whatever it is for you when it comes to record keeping, it might be that your team is not working for you. So I don't know if it's necessarily a habit. For some people, every year, part of the stress is they have to deal with that person, their tax preparer, their CPA or whatever. And it's like, it's not a great fit. Like maybe they don't understand where they're coming from. They don't appreciate their business. They think they give too much to charity. I've had accountants over the years complain about that. It's like, no, we really like to do that. It's not necessarily for the tax deduction. It's because we want to make a difference, and we feel blessed to do that. So things like that. Habit wise, I think just related to record keeping, whatever area of record keeping will help you. It might be a matter, if you have a lot of expenses that need to be detailed, maybe do it every month or every quarter. So you're not doing 12 months of all of that at the end of the year. For example, we've got rentals. And so every rental has its own gas bill and electric bill and water bill and all those the phone bill and trash bill and all those little things. And our property in Texas has several little trash bills. There's like all these little detail things you don't have anywhere else, but they're all monthly and they're little. But you have to go back at the end of the year if you don't do it regularly and get all 12 of them for every one of those things for every one of those properties. And it's like, oh, that's hours and hours and hours. But breaking it up is what I've done in the last few years. It helps a lot. And I'll just go every month or two and just go in and just go click, 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 have a spreadsheet already set up. I do that in January for this year, for the whole year, as I'm reviewing last year's stuff. And then I already have the boxes there and I just put the numbers in the boxes. So periodically I do that and it saves all that time at the end of the year. It's like, I'm going to be here crunching numbers, which isn't my sweet spot, you know, numbers. I can do numbers, but it sucks the life out of me to do it for too long. It's just too much. So little bits at a time, I think, can be a habit that might help some people that are kind of wired the way I am.
So I want you to think of the last maybe 10 years. Think of a client that had that tax nightmare that you were able to get them through. And what did that nightmare look like because of poor planning?
Oh, well, just going back, I had clients that hired me about 2 years ago. And slow start, they have many businesses, so they had 4 years of not paying any tax. And so
Wow.
they had just put it off, and then after the first year, it's like, "Oh, it's stressful." Things are going on in their life, health-wise, relationship-wise, and all kinds of things, so it just kinda added up. So by the time we engaged with them and got them help and got the right accountant and all the right organization, and really a plan of action that was doable and not overwhelming, that's what they were dealing with, was overwhelm. Where do I start? I don't even know. The bills are gonna be, well up into the 6 figures, and they were. But where do what are we gonna do about that? And so it's just taking bite-sized pieces and just breaking it up. What we did for them. We got the right professionals. We got accountants to take in anything that could be delegated. We delegated to professionals. Give them access to the accounts. Let them go through, sort it out. When they get to the end, they're going to have questions about a few things they're not sure about, like expenses for whatever it is, or what is this thing. You answer those questions, but only the things that only you are needed for. Delegate all of the rest. That made a really big difference for them. And within a few months, they were all cleaned up, done. It was way better than they expected because the accounting was proper and accurate. And it turned out really well for them. So that was, I would say, for me, that would be a nightmare to have all that deferred work to do. I would probably do the same thing as like, I just don't want to deal with it. It'd probably be 10 years before I would look at the pile, right? But we got it done. We got it done, and now they're fine, and they're doing some of the things we just talked about, keeping up regularly and delegating what they can to the right team. They have the right fit now of the right people helping them. So that's one thing that can really make a difference.
What are some best practices you can share with us, the newbies, like so we don't ever get into situations like that?
Just I would say it's more the mindset thing. I mean, we talked about all the little tangible things that you can do in the to-do lists, and you know what it is at your house. But I think the mindset, like I can do this, I can get control of this, I can stay ahead of that, tsunami, that it feels like every February trying to get all this stuff together. Um, and just be proactive. Maybe make a little list of the things that don't work for you when it comes to tax preparation, the things that every year you just kind of complain about or get tangled up in. You know what one of the things is for me, now that we're talking about this? It's having the passwords and the access to all the information I need to get for them. I know it's
That's,
coming,
that's
but
true.
it's like, oh, now what is that? Because you only go once a year to some of these portals. And now I
Mhm.
gotta get that thing, like, for example, the gas bill, getting the gas bill for all the properties. It's like, I don't look at the gas bill, it just is automatic, everything is automated, and once a year, I have to go, "What is the password?" So, this year, I started a spread list of all the passwords to go in, so I can just go click, 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 easy button, or even have someone else do that, better yet, and then I'll have all the information I need and less stress, and I can keep all my hair, I'm not gonna pull it out.
That makes a lot of sense. And folks, if you're just joining us, please follow Judy at judycopenbarger.today. And as we get closer to the tail end of the show, you guys know what that means for us, right? Money Truth Challenge for tax. Uh-oh.
Here comes your money truth challenge. What do you have to do to get ready? Write down 3 things that will make you more impactful, more efficient, and more calm as you complete your taxes. A lot of you are already done for this year, but for next year, what are 3 things that you can do that will make next year's preparation easier, better, more, better, different, all of those things? Write them down, put them with your little tax pile, either digitally on your computer where you keep that, or in the shoebox or in the file where all that stuff is. So you can pull it out in January as you're preparing to put all the data together and look at that little list and make sure those things are done. That is your challenge.
All right, you heard the challenge, folks. Make sure that you are tuned in. Follow Judy at judycopenbarger.today. Any last parting words, Judy?
Make it a great week. If you haven't done it yet, get it done. Get it done. Get it done. Don't wait till the last minute and don't extend. That's even more stressful. More months of biting nails, right? You can do this.
Yep.
Make it a great week.
Take care, you guys.